if your thumbnails absolutely suck, you're in the right place. And don't worry, I'm not really insulting you. You've never met someone who is less talented in the area of graphic design than yours truly. But I think I can help you fix your thumbnail problem. And we're going to walk through it super, super simply today. So if your thumbnails suck, AI can actually recreate them or create them in seconds. And it only costs 3 pennies per creation. Now, maybe you want to do a few variations. So maybe it costs you 12, 20, 25 cents per thumbnail. And again, you can do it in 1 to 2 minutes easily. So I want to walk you through that process today. So let me start off by showing that I am an expert in thumbnails that suck. So if you go right here, you can see some of the original thumbnails on my channel. Again, this is so much for those of you who have zero gift when it comes to graphic design. And if you have a little bit, your thumbnails are going to be significantly better even than what I'm creating now. So you can see some of the stuff I've made in the past, the amount of errors on this stuff, like you can't even read that text. Like, why did I just leave my face? You can't see what these things are. You can't see the proof element in this. My face is too small. So many problems, right? So what I've been doing is using AI to actually make really good story-based thumbnails. Now, you obviously can do a different style than what I'm doing. This is just the style that I've picked. I was really kind of obviously very different than something like Mr. Beast. I'm not even claiming to be in the world of that. But I love how his tell a story, because if you don't understand the psychology of a thumbnail actually, and this is something I didn't used to understand, and y'all are going to see this here in a second as we scroll through some of my old thumbnails. But the psychology of a thumbnail is the thumbnail doesn't actually cause people to click. The thumbnail causes someone to look at the title, and the title makes them click. But people won't read the title unless your thumbnail actually pops out for them. So the point of a thumbnail is to point people to the title. Like, it should pique interest, cause them to read the title. The two should align, and then it should go into the video, and then the video should obviously align with both of those two things. So someone sees this goes 100K months, what the heck? And then they read how to do it with PDF farming. Someone sees, first of all, scammed is just always a great word that pops out to people. Wait, what do you mean he was scammed? Shoes, right? Who's back? So that's kind of the vibe of what you're going for, is you want the thumbnail to create intrigue. They read the title, now they're interested in the video, and then they go into the video, and you make sure you fulfill what their expectations are based on the thumbnail and the title. In a second, we're getting to the 4 steps to do this. It really is going to be simple, but I do want to kind of prove, and you can use the little area at the bottom. I have the table of contents if you were to scroll past this, but I feel some of you might enjoy seeing how terrible my thumbnails were. These things were atrocious. Like, look at these. I'm just randomly in the middle. You'll see over time, they got a little better. We started doing some of this. I'm still way too small, but at least they were clear. There wasn't quite as many words on them. Some of them were still too messy. You can see a little bit of improvement, but again, still way too much text. I didn't understand the purpose of a thumbnail, that it was supposed to point to the title. I thought people clicked on the thumbnail. It's just not how it worked. And then what I did with these last 3 was I started using this strategy. Now, after that, I went back and changed this one, and this one with the updated strategy. But a lot of the older ones I just didn't even mess with. I just left them because I thought you would enjoy how atrocious they were. So that being said, let's dive into how to unsuck your thumbnails. So step 1 is going to be create an account on Fall.ai. Quick pause. I hope you're finding this helpful so far, but I have one thing I would ask you to do, actually 2. Number 1, as always, please do subscribe. Number 2, down in the description is a link to the Online Business Academy. I'm actually teaching this kind of stuff in a course right now. We're going to eventually charge $2,000 a year for it, but we're actually giving everyone inside of OBA access to it for free as we're building it out. It's a massive discount, but I promise if you're getting value from this, it's nothing compared to what all we're doing in the course. If you're looking to leave your 9-to-5 job by replacing that income with an online business, you're going to want to check it out. So come join us while it's in beta, and you can get it for crazy cheap. Now back to the video. So I'm going to have that right here. You're just going to come in, you're going to create an account, and then you're going to want to add a little bit of money for your balance. You can do that up here in the top right where you see I have $16.18 left. You push plus, and you'll be able to go and add the amount of credits that you want. You can go to the Explore section. You can see all the stuff they have on here. I was just looking at the VO3, which I actually haven't even tried yet, but all that's for a different video. So you're going to go from there, and you're going to look up one called Flux LoRA Portrait Trainer. So you can come to Explore, go to the search bar, just type that in, and there it is right there. So what this is going to allow us to do is we're going to give it a lot of images of ourselves and probably about 30 to 50 images. And it is going to use those images to create an idea of what we look like. And then we can use that in all of our future thumbnails. So this is going to be the only part that costs a little bit of money. So you'll see as we go through it. I've done 2 of these. I did one where I didn't provide enough quality pictures. And honestly, even the one that worked wasn't enough. It wasn't like great pictures, but it worked out okay. So make sure you do it right the first time so you don't have to do it twice. So this one is going to cost a little bit of money, probably $6 to create the LoRA. And then after that, I think it's 3 cents per image. So where's the actual, here it is, about 0.0024 per step, and it's a minimum of 1,000 steps. So what you're going to do first is you are going to collect your images. You can add them individually or do a zip file. I actually will add the instructions for that right here. So step 2 is going to be to create our LoRA. If you want to just pause it and grab that, save the video, come back to it later. There are the instructions of how to do a zipped folder if you'd like to do it that way. Or you can just add your images in right here. Again, we're looking for, I think you actually, I don't know how many will allow you to put here, but you do need probably 30 to 50. Really good. You want them from different contexts, different angles of your face. You're just trying to give it a full picture of who you are so that it can create the closest image to you that it can. So for example, up here is my folder that I use, some of my wedding pictures, and just a bunch of pictures of my face. You can see like some of these go way back. So it really wasn't great. I don't have many pictures of myself, so I used just what I had. If you have more pictures, especially if they're more recent, that's going to give a better image of you. So take that. You can just download all of them and then upload them right here as a zip file. Next, you're going to want to enter your trigger phase. Now, when you get to the next step, the trigger phase is just going to be what you're calling it. So for example, you can see I've used my full name on one. I use JT on one. So just use your name. That's really simple. First, last, first, whatever. Then we come down to a few other settings. The one that worked best for me was put steps at 2,500 and that learning rate right there. So switch that from a 2 to a 9. I definitely haven't tested a ton. I would actually just stick with the default probably here. I think this is what I went with, the default value, and I use that. But this one wouldn't be an issue either. It's up to you. That shouldn't really be the differentiator. And then steps, I went up to 2,500 on that. So once you have that, you're going to push enter again. It's going to be about $6, maybe $7 to do this, but you do only have to do it once. And then in the future, you won't have to do it again. Now, once you finish, you're going to come over here to where it says run inference, and you're going to click run inference. And then I don't remember exactly how it spits it out, but it's going to give you a URL that you need to save somewhere. So I don't remember if it just gives it to you on this page or if it pulls this page up and enters in that URL right there. So this is what you are going to do, is to put the URL right there every single time. This one is called Flux LoRA. Again, same way we did with the other one, just type Flux LoRA straight into the search bar right here under Explore, and you should find the one that says just Flux LoRA. Come back. And there should be one that is exactly that. Yep, this one right here is the one that I'm using, the text to image. So here we are. We now have our path. It's been given to you when you did this. So you're going to enter that in right here. And then we're going to use the description. Now, let me actually go back because I'm forgetting my steps. Now, step 3 is we're actually going to use ChatGPT to create a really good description for the prompt. Now, you just test a lot of stuff out with this, right? So originally, I loved a lot of, obviously, Mr. Beast. He's one of the best at this in the world. So I loved his story form of how he uses thumbnails. So what I did was I went to the Mr. Beast channel. I took a lot of the images. I stuck them in ChatGPT and said something along the lines of explain the style of these thumbnails. It wrote it out. And then I said, okay, this is the style I want to use for my thumbnails going forward. And then whatever video I was creating. So the one about PDF farming, I want to use that style. I'm making this video called about PDF farming. Give me some ideas that I could use for a prompt. And then it gave me a few ideas. I picked one, and then I made some changes here and there. Like, no, I want it to be more cinematic. No, I want it to be in the morning. I want it to be holding a pitchfork, whatever, right? So you can make those adjustments, and ChatGPT will help you refine the prompt until you have what you want. In this example, turn JT into Batman. We should be able to see his face. Now that's a terrible prompt, but I'm just doing something super vague kind of see uh, what it will decide to do with it. And we'll do that in just a second. Now we want to make sure this is on landscape. So click image size landscape. I usually like running this up between 40 and 45. I don't know why that just happened. We'll do 45. Actually, we'll stick at 40. Number of images. This is just going to spit out 4 images for us. And again, they're they're 3.5 cents each. So, and then if you want to switch it to PNG, you can do that down here. Now, I don't want to give away my path because I don't want y'all out here creating a bunch of images of me. So I'm going to use the prompt we just made, take it over to my other screen, enter the path, and all right, perfect. It took about 10 seconds to get that image. I'm going to pull that back over here after I remove the path. And so you can see it gave us 4 images. This is Batman with a beard right here. So you can see, still shows my eyes, my face with the Batman. Now, let me go and see if I can pull up some of my old requests so I can show you a lot of the examples. So we're going to talk about Canva here in a minute and how to kind of finish this off. Recently, one of my most recent thumbnail, I was actually going for the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing at the TV. I don't think we hit it exactly, but that's what we were going for. So you see a lot of variations of this one where I'm trying to hit it. So if you go farther back, I think this is the one I ended up using for this video. So you can see these are different ones of me as Iron Man. Now these I actually forgot to enter in my LoRA URL, so it used a random stranger. See, I tried to do one with cooking. Oh, some of the older ones aren't there. I had a lot of really cool ones. I had ones from like Game of Thrones. I had one from obviously the PDF farming. I had a bunch. Had a bunch with me like working on my computer, different things like that. So there are a lot of different kinds of images you can obviously create. Now, once you have an image that you like, let's say, for example, we're just going to grab, well, we don't need to grab one, but let's say we grabbed this one. Now we're going to go over to Canva. That's our step 4, is we're going to finalize it here in Canva. So we have a really good image that now we can be doing anything that we need us to do. Now, my process in Canva typically looks like this. I'm going to grab this one and come down to the bottom. So this is the image that I ended up going with for the previous thumbnail. You can use background remover first. So to do this, you'll need Canva Pro. I'll drop that link down in the description if you need it. But that's going to allow you to pull out just you from the image. We want to adjust some of the temperature and stuff just on the subject, you, and then we can come back and put it into the image. So let me grab this one more time. All right, so we have the full image, and then we have the background removed image. So we're gonna come here, we're gonna go to edit, we're gonna go to adjust, and then we're just gonna adjust until we find something that we like. I'll just kind of play around. The big ones usually for me, I kind of want it to pop out of the background. Again, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. Let's see, vibrance is usually good. It doesn't really do a great job in this one. Sharpness usually helps. Okay, so we would continue to play with it, but just for the sake of this video. And now I'm going to come here. I'm going to put that over. And now I pop off the background a lot. So you can tell the difference. Just so I can show you all the difference real quick. I'm going to grab that again. I'm going to come down here. And now you can see really dark. And now I pop in this one. And then you're just going to add the text over top of that. Again, remember, you're trying to point them to the title, not to click on the video. That's a really big difference. And from there, you're just going to put text over it. Now, I will say this is an area I think I still have a lot of improvement to make. You can see here, I just did a simple white. I used impact for this one and kind of like a little fog background behind it. I've done outlines before. You see like an outline on this one. If I go farther back, same kind of just do like a neon green and a background on it. So I think this is an area that I have to improve. So I would definitely play around and try to find a really good way to drop the title on there. Or even better, if you're able to communicate the message without words, that's always the best case, but is more difficult to do. So Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do make sure to go down the link in the description and join the Online Business Academy. We probably will only be open another month or two, but we're in the process of making that beta course that is going to help people leave their 9 to 5 job and start an online business and replace their income. And that thing is being built out inside of OBA right now. Would love to have you join. Check it out, and you can get it at a crazy discount if you want to join us right now. So hope to see you inside very soon. Make sure to subscribe and check out the next video.